Now we will discuss about the next topic is that is in the part number 3. So in the part number 3 we will discuss about the stack and next one is the subroutine and next one is the debugging program. Okay, so here I will start. The first one is the stack. For this stack we have already discussed in the architecture of an 8085 microprocessor. So here the stack is nothing but, so whenever we are considering a group of cups, so those group of cups are arranged in an order, so that is from bottom to top. So that means that the stack is arranged in this order. So here this is the first instruction, second instruction, third instruction, fourth instruction and fifth instruction. So likewise it will arrange, and next the stack will follows the last in first out method. So that means whatever the that means last in first out. So that means the instructions are goes like this. So whatever the instruction is last is entered into that stack, so that one is come out back. Okay, so here the stack performing of the stack operation, here we use the two instructions. Those two instructions are the pop, and the next instruction is the push instruction. Okay, so here the pop instruction is nothing but you have to retrieve the data from this memory location, and push instruction is we have to push the instructions to this stack. Okay, so coming to the definition of a stack is a special area is stored in the memory. So here a stack is a specific area in a memory. Okay, so the stack is stored in the order of last in first out manner. Okay, so and next coming to the stack pointer is there in the memory location. So what is meant by stack pointer here? So here the stack pointer which holds the address of the most recent entry. So whatever the most recent entry instruction is there, the stack pointer which holds the most recent entry instruction. So here the stack pointer holds the most recent instruction. Okay, so the most recent instruction here. Okay, so that is nothing but the stack pointer. And next one, another one is also there in the our memory. So that is nothing but the program counter. So here the stack pointer and the program counter both are the 16-bit register. So here the difference between the program counter and the stack pointer is, so here the program counter which is nothing but it will holds the address of the next instructions to be executed. Here the program counter is holds the address of the next instruction, holds the address of the next instruction to be executed. But in stack pointer which holds the most recent instruction. So that is nothing but the difference between the stack pointer and the program counter. So now we will move to the subroutine concept. subroutine concept. So here the subroutine. So here the subroutine is nothing but, so whenever we are executing of any program, so when we are executing of a main program, so after completion of that program, so we'll come back and it will go to some other place, and in that place it will perform a particular task. So therefore after completion of that task, and again it will come back to our original program. So that is nothing but a subroutine. So here the subroutine is nothing but it is a small program, or it is a function. So a subroutine is a small program, or it is a function. It is a function. So that means here I consider a program. So here I write a program move a comma b. So some that is for example some load some 2000 h. So likewise I am executing a program. So after executing of a program, so it have an instruction, so that is a call instruction. So this call instruction is directly specifies the address. Okay, so there is a call from this address. So depending upon this address, this program is moved to this address. So here it is a main program. So the main program is called as routine. So the main program is called as a routine. So whenever you are executing of this main program, there is a call instruction is come from this address. So therefore it will jump to this address location. So it have some other instructions are there in this. So here for example 00 some 6 is there. Okay, so here after this will come to this program, and after execution of this instruction it will have an instruction, that is a return instruction. So by using this return instruction it will again go to our main program. So that means whatever the task in between main program is done, so that is called as a subroutine. So here it is called as subroutine. That means the subroutine is also a one type of program. Okay, so here subroutine is also a one type of small program. Okay, for performing of this subroutine operation, the subroutine is used the two instructions. Those two instructions are the call instruction, and the next one is the return instruction. Call instruction and the return instruction. So here in this call instruction we have to directly mention the address. Okay, so therefore it will be write as, so here some call, the address location is some 005H. So depending upon this address location, so it will move to this subroutine. Okay, so here one thing you have to remember, the subroutine is a small program. Okay, so here are the subroutine is a function. Okay, so here the main program, so whatever the main program is there, so that main program is called as a routine. So we have to performing of this subroutine operation, we are using of the two instructions. Those two instructions are the call instruction and the return instruction. Okay, so when I am executing of a program, so here I am executing, this is a total program. So whenever I am executing of a program, when the call instruction is come, so depending upon this instruction, this address, it will jump to the subroutine. So after completion of this small program, and it will again return to our original program. So okay, so by using a written instruction, and after that it will again return to original program, and also it will perform the same main program execution. So that means it have an address of 400S7. Okay, so the immediate next address is held by the stack pointer here. So whatever the immediate address is there, so this address is held by this stack pointer. So that means the stack pointer will store this address in the top of the stack. So for example, I consider this is a stack in this address location, that is 450 that is 4007 here. So this 4007, there is a data. So ABCD data is there. So this ABCD data is stored in this stack pointer, and after that it will move to this subroutine and by using a program counter. So here in this the stack pointer is decrementing operation is performing, and the program counter is increment the next instruction. Okay, so this is about the subroutine concept. Okay, now we will move to the debugging of a program. Okay, next one is debugging. Okay, so here the debugging is a process to identify the bugs in the software and a program. So here the debugging is a, so here it is a program. Here debugging is a process, debugging is a process. Debugging is a process to identify the bugs, in the software or program. Okay, so that means you have to identify the errors. Okay, so that means identification of errors in terms of a program logic, and a machine code, program logic and machine code and execution. So if any error is occurred in the execution of a program, so it will identify that errors and it will remove that errors. Here the debugging, you can identify the errors. So those errors are belongs to the program logic errors or machine code errors or in the process of an execution time errors. So these all errors are identified by using this debugging program, and also it will correct those errors. Okay, so and therefore the debugging is classified into two types. First one is a static debugging. Okay, so next one is a dynamic debugging. Okay, so here the static debugging is nothing but, so it is a layout. Okay, so static debugging is nothing but it is a layout. So like we will take a pen or pencil, you have to take a layout for this. Any problems are there, for the identification purpose we have to identify in pen or pencil, you have to simply write some instructions. So likewise static bugging is a layout. So next coming to the dynamic bugging here. So this is a dynamic bugging is nothing but, so in this dynamic bugging you have to identify the registers and memory locations. That means what are the contents are there in the registers and what are the operations are performed between the registers and memories and what is the result. So that means in that for execution of a program there is any errors are there. So that means it will identify by using a debugging. Okay, so in this debugging process there is a two simple tools is performing. So those tools are single stepping, those two tools are single stepping, and so the next one is a break point. Single stepping and a break point. So here the single stepping is nothing but, so a software or a system can execute a program. So here it will execute a single program. Okay, so after execution of a program, so it will wait to execute the next program. So the user can identify that instruction, therefore this instruction is there is no errors, so you can execute the next instruction. Okay, then likewise the user can give the instructions to this a single stepping, so then it will execute the next instruction. So that is nothing but a single step. That means it will execute only a single instruction. Execute only a single instruction. Okay, so next coming to the break point here. So break point is also called as a group of instructions. Group of instructions. Okay, so here the break point is nothing but whenever you are executing a group of instructions. So here in this program a group of instructions is there. In this a break point is mentioned here. After completion of this a group of instructions, this break point will check whether the executed instructions are correct or wrong. So if in case this executed instructions are correct, so then it will go to the next instructions to executing. So if in case any wrong is there for the executing of this instruction, so it will identify the in which instruction there is an error, and that means by which instruction a wrong will occur. So that means it will identify the errors like this. So this is about the debugging of N8085 microprocessor. Okay, so here the debugging is nothing but you have to identify the bugs, is nothing but you have to identify the errors. Okay, whenever you are executing of a program, you have to identify the errors. That means those errors are in system errors or a software errors. Okay, so those all errors are identified by using this debugging program. Okay, so and next one is one thing you have to remember. So the debugging is very similar to occur. So what are those common errors in the debugging? So those common errors are so likewise you have to for example a microprocessor can understand only hexadecimal values, but if in case sometimes we no need to mention our hexadecimal values, but in place of hexadecimal we will mention decimal values. So that means it will shows an error. Okay, so likewise you should not mention the instructions like jump instructions and call instructions properly, so in that place also it will shows an error. So likewise those all errors are identifying by using this debugging program. Okay, so this is about debugging. Thank you.